Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Terra Invicta episode number 13 in our series as the Academy. I'm just going to do a quick review of what happened in the last 2 months. A couple things. Stations were blown up, I had to rebuild them. I'm still a little bit concerned about this alien situation. Oh yeah, that does remind me. I also finished management research for 6,000 and I just continued going with management research for 7,000. Didn't really have any inspiration to do something else because I don't have plans to build a shipyard. I don't really have plans to expand my operations. So I stole Operation Center, Shipyard, and also what were they? 2 other techs from Humanity First. But then I initiated a trade agreement with them, and we're not there. I'm pretty sure we're in conflict still, but we're not terrible enemies or anything. What is the other one? I forget. Oh gosh, maybe give me a sec. Yeah. Okay, so it was Shipyard, it was Solar Array, and it was the Fissile Array as well. And then plus the Operations Center, which gives you the extra, extra mission control. I know that in Perun's playthrough, he went very heavy on this. I am a much bigger fan of Earth-based mission control, as you probably would have guessed, somebody like me who's like, yearns so badly to be perfect min-max optimal. Any mission control in space is it's hard to justify, at least right now. Excuse me real fast, because it's just so expensive in every way, and the mission control on Earth is just so free. Anyway, I thought that right now we would go ahead and spend the time. Mercury's probe is not done yet, but launch window's closing in. I feel like we'll just go ahead. We're gonna be, I know we're gonna be here anyway, so I feel like we might as well just found a platform in low Mercury orbit, which, okay, so this is going to be a little bit more expensive. But we have tons. I mean, I just gave away like 200 boosts to Humanity First in a trade agreement for a single org, but, whatever, just to make them happy. So this is only going to take 36, not even, like, basically a quarter or a third of a year. No problem, I say, no problem. So we'll do this. It's going to be a little bit of extra weight for everything, but that really only translates, as far as I know, to extra boost to get it here. Not a big deal. I don't know if we need to build anything yet, but ultimately this will be... What will this be? I actually don't know what I'd put here. Oh, you know what? I probably will put some like energy labs and such, since I didn't care about the boost benefit on Earth. I might as well have stations or something out here. And what better place to put energy labs than where you're going to get amazing return on investment from solar. So I'll probably wait until I research. Now I have a motivation. So as soon as one of these finishes, probably management, well, obviously. And by the way, I went down to 2 on this one so I can get a little bit more research out of these 3. You can see we're just barely, ever so slightly, 1495 versus 1433, barely eking out militarization of space. At the very last little push, which is basically now, I probably should do this just to make sure they don't do the same thing and snag it from me. So we will do that, even though it'll put back everything. How much is it? Yeah, I can do that. I can handle that. But, poor Hydra diplomacy is just getting pushed back and back. I'll wait a couple more days on this because we are ahead, and I prefer not to do as much of this as I can. Hopefully, when this one gets to the next one, somebody will actually be interested in doing something other than. Like, settlement halves, what's going on here? Thank God Exodus finally kicked in. I was at 99%, which I'm sure you saw, for like so much of the last episode. So much of this research has been done by me, and likewise for quantum encryption. Anyway, no matter. So we did that. What other things? I got a mine on Hespia, which it's given me a fair amount of normal metals and noble metals. So it's not bad, but actually it gives me a tiny bit of fissiles, but pretty much only enough to pay for itself, basically, because it has a fissile place itself. If I can do... Is it middle asteroid belt? Inner asteroid? Oh, one of these is Hespia. I think I just saw it and I didn't click it. Let's try that again. Yeah, here it is. So this is produced... Wait a second. This should not be... No, it's the wrong one. I don't know where it is. This is not correct. No, that's definitely the one I was just looking at. Hespia? Vesta? No. Wait, Hesperia? Was that it? Yeah, I am on this. Yeah, this is it. There it is, Hesperia. So it has 50 metal. That's actually really good. 50 normal metal. 16 noble metal is very, very good. And then, yeah, 0.24 is actually more than enough to pay for itself. It'll be contributing to our income. So that's all. It's all well and good. And I don't know if that is up quite yet. If I was to investigate, I shall find out. Yeah, that outpost mining complex doesn't go up for another... Oh. Today. It goes up today. There, it's up. Okay, did that make a difference? Wow, 1.9. Okay, so whatever this... rewind your video like 5 seconds and see what this jumped up to from whatever it was to 1.9. So I guess that was a significant increase. So good, Hesperia is not all that bad after all. And we'll have a new station on Mercury, so that's not too bad. I don't know, is there anything else that I need to say here? Probably not. A few of our stations have been blown up, I think I mentioned that. Not blown up by the aliens or anything, just debris. And then I've had to rebuild them. Yeah, and then on the planet Earth, it's only been a couple months, so it's, you know, it was June when you left, and now we're back. I'm doing the same thing. Mexico, Bolivia. Actually, my control points have crept over 500. I have not taken anything else. Okay, that's not entirely true. I don't remember what I took by the end of the last video, but did I have both the Gulf states? This is giving me so much money. Remember, we were at like, what, 35k, and now I'm up to 42.8. Just spoiling 2 control points is so good. It gives you so much money. It's fantastic. Anyways, I'm up to 502, and this is... a lot of it is because of the increase in like the cost of the control points. I haven't acquired new ones, but I'm just doing such a good job increasing the economy at different places that the control points I own are increasing just because the control points of the nations I own are increasing. You know, I'm not it's basically just the economy going up means control point cost goes up. So that's a painful thing, but technically it's like a good thing. So anyways, 35 control point, mission control. Got to keep this pretty low because I don't want to anger the aliens anymore. I still don't understand why they're so angry at me. It's a mystery, but they haven't gone out and really attacked me, so I suspect that this is not accurate. It's probably below fully critical. Otherwise, I would have expected some of our stations to get blown up. Well, this is a pretty big moment. Mercury has now been surveyed. Boy, I have to tell you, my plan is to take every single site here. It's just too efficient not to. Oh my goodness, that metal. Woo! Yeah, lots of base metal here. I can probably give up metal. Like the Hesperia one that I was just raving about, it's like nothing compared to all of these. Now, I guess they will be slightly larger mass. That unfortunately probably means that... how much is it to found? Oh, God. Well, we'll have to immediately get on building a construction module here. And how much energy is that going to take? Well, 10, which is going to be... okay, 180 if I build it in space. And do this solar collector. It's going to provide 67 power. Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Now that's not done yet, obviously. Man, the other two, I think that we'll just slap on a couple energy labs. Is there anything more expensive? No, I really don't think so. I'm feeling very comfortable with just putting 2 energy labs on this. Why not? Okay, well there's that. And that's going to take 112 days, but let's just see... yeah, there's no... until we get the construction module, we don't have a choice. And I don't want to lose some spots, so I think I'm going to spend a little bit of our boost here. 71.6. Okay, now, let's be smart about this. We can see what other boost people have, and we can plan accordingly, like whether or not we actually need to take up all these spots. Oh my god, humanity first. Why did I give you 200 boost? Initiative can take 1, Exodus can take 1, Servants can take 1 or 2. Yeah, so I think we're going to have to be aggressive here. Dang it. Okay, well, let me look. I think we need this top one. It's a no-brainer. We need this 3.6. We need this bottom. I mean, we're just going to have to use all of our... What are we using our boost for if not for this, right? This is pretty much the last thing we need to do. Plus, it's called Token Crater. You have to get it, right? Let me make sure I'm going to get the ones I need. So we don't even need to consider the first two categories. But I will take this one. And I will take 4.6 and 3.6. Gotta have that one. Alright, we can get a couple more. Why risk it, right? Just take them all now. I think the fissiles might be more important than anything else. This is 19, which is the second most, and 0.47 is the highest one left. So that also feels like a good spot to get. Okay, are we leaving things which we would be very disappointed to lose? Well, yeah, I think this 24.5 for noble metals is pretty good. We wouldn't want to lose that. It has the lowest metal production on here. Yeah, I thought about it, and we're just going to take this big fissile. I love the fissiles. Oh, I love the fissiles so much. Found that one. And then we're also going to found this 24.5 noble, which I don't know, I can't remember what I've seen for noble, but that's pretty darn high. And it's, you know, it's Mercury. I don't really know what we're going to use our boost for if we're not using it for this. Well, probably trading with people, but yeah, that's a secondary priority at this point. I did want to go ahead and take a look at the prospecting for Saturn. Maybe I'll just... Okay, very cool. So I'm sorting by metal right now, and this is Callisto. But, you know, that's Callisto. It's pretty far away. It also has 20... Well, let's sort by this. Ah, yes, I did it. I got the second highest in the system. Awesome. And where's this one? Undina, which is an asteroid, apparently. It does have quite a lot of noble metals, but, you know, it has metals, too. And there's Callisto again, yeah, so that's good. Alright, how are we doing here? Callisto, you silly little planet. Planetoid, I guess. Ganymede. But I must have a lot of... So there's Mars. Somewhere... Come on, I got... Oh, there's Mercury. I was right up at the top. 3.6. I got this one. I got this one. Yeah, we should be... I don't know why. I'm like... For me, fissiles is like more important than it should be. I just really like to have them. I'm like nervous that we won't have enough when it comes down to it. Well, really, it's probably the other two techs that are coming. Spoiler alert. I should be a little bit more concerned about. Okay, I would say that we are doing fantastic for... yeah, we're going to be completely fine on everything right now. I probably need to go back and start focusing again on water. Oh my gosh, but I have the highest water. And where's this? Oh, Europa. Yeah, that's not really available. Water we're probably going to be fine on, because we do have Ceres. Volatiles, Europa, oh, Agraria. Oh. It doesn't have much else, but it does have quite a lot of volatiles. If I was considering myself short on volatiles, that would be a prime candidate. Not really looking at the mission control that we need to have to do that. And I don't really want to... I mean, what do we multiply by? 0.4? 40 type? 0.4. We're looking at 2/5 of this. So 16. We're only looking at 16 threat from this. Which is, I guess, still lower than 20. And that's a good sign. So who knows what kind of damage I've done to the aliens and why they're pissed at me. I don't know. I mean, besides killing one and detaining another. But that should have only been like 10 points each. I guess I've been probably harassing the servants. That might be. Well, anyway. So we'll go... I'll continue pushing on. It looks like we got, what, the new tech, which I'll switch over and I'll get Shipyard and the Solar Array and the Fissile Array and all those that I'll get before we come back. Yeah, Fission Reactor Array. So I'll get this one as well, as we can start upgrading planets to have level 2 stuff as soon as that becomes available. Of course, I have to research it. Lots of little things to do, but I may not come in for all those. Maybe I will. Who knows? Alright, well, I didn't realize that Settlement Halves was so quick to finish, but there it is. And of course, it wasn't that many points, so it shouldn't be surprising. Kieran Banerjee is just a real D-bag. And what do we want to do next? So we have an opening for material science, space science. What other stuff do we have? Material science, space science. Energy is not being used. Life science. I think there's probably one more. Material science, space science, energy, and life science. Okay, so it's actually the top 4, just right there. The top 4. Material science, space science, energy, life science. Okay, we've got plenty of options. I'm actually starting to think about high temperature superconductors. This leads to a lot of good stuff. Most importantly, it leads to a lot of the fusion stuff. I don't know how important it is to get this early on, because another really good contender is to do the space commerce type side, get the civilian quantum computing, stuff like that. I know that I've been really focused on control points, but the fact of the matter is the more control points I try to take and all that, if I can try to stay around, I don't even know what happened, why I went from 503 down to 49 or 493. I think it's, oh yeah, I had Paraguay and the other one, and eventually I just didn't realize that basically the one of the ones that was on Crackdown because I abandoned it had come off of that, and so I re-abandoned it. Now we're fine, but I mean we're not fine. We could it's definitely stand to have more control points, but I don't know if I should be going so aggressively on the control points. I don't know how much it's helping me at this point. What are we trying to do anyway? Let me take a look at the tech tree, maybe do some screenshots of various ones that I think are interesting. Well, just to showcase this, if we wanted to go with a rival culture, although I don't think we will, this would give us instruments of soft power. So after 20,000, we would have a 2,500, which gives us 10 CP, well, 10 CP cap. And then another 10,000, which will give us 10 CP cap. And now, because the management research is 7,000 for 5 points at this point, any of these which can give you 1 point per 1,000 research are good deals. So this is a good deal, and this is like a steal. It's 4 times better than that. So yeah, I mean this is kind of an interesting one. I have to say I am considering it. Another example, which I've probably shown 100 times already, and will continue to show every time because I'm so fascinated by it, is going high temperature superconductors, which will lead to nuclear fusion in space. One of the reasons I like this option is it is material science, which I have a huge bonus in right now. It's the highest bonus I have. It's a 75. Yeah, okay, xenology is 77, but the highest normal bonus I have, it's 75, which is a very big bonus for me. And okay, we can improve that a whole bunch if we get Skunk Works. But I can show you the Skunk Works, unfortunately, is locked behind advanced neural networks. And this is the problem, is that advanced neural networks is an information science. One, we don't have a very good information science bonus right now. But on top of that, we're already doing one anyway, which is the quantum computing. Now, as soon as quantum computing finishes, we can do it. Because once quantum computing, let's just look at quantum computing. Yeah, I think it's quantum encryption, right? Is that what I'm working on? It's easy. Oh, there, quantum encryption. Yeah. So this is almost done, and then covert operations is actually a social science research, which is the one we definitely want out of that. For 1,200 points, you get an extra counselor and a control point management up by 10. Excuse me, yes, please. That's such a good deal. Anyways, we'll beeline that, which we already are. And then, so I think as soon as quantum encryption finishes, that's when I will want to switch over to the neural network or neural analysis. I can't even remember the name of it, but the other one that we were looking at. Go hard into that one. So what does that mean in the end? I gotta make a decision, right? Space agriculture is a good way of just deferring the decision for a little bit. How close are the other ones to finishing? So this one's gonna finish basically now anyway, so I'm gonna have another research tech to go. Yeah, we'll probably end up. This is probably going to be another one which we might switch over to material stuff. But let me go ahead and just do high temperature superconductors. I know it sounds crazy. I don't think we had any. Yeah, shipyard is the only one that I probably would want to do somewhat quickly, but it can wait. So I'm happy with that. Okay, well, I just want to bring this up and let you know that Settlement Core project has now been unlocked for us, which is very good. We're just about to finish the management research one, so when that does finish, I'm not going to bring it back in. I'll just switch over to the... We don't have any other bio ones, so it's just like the perfect project to switch over to. Alright, well, we finished militarization of space, and we completed it, so we get the Marine Assault Unit, Marine Platoon Barracks. Not actually super important things to get for us, at least in the short term. By the way, I forgot to mention that the alien science, alien aggression indicator has now moved out of that into this area, which I think is a good idea to make it like even more clear. Now ours is down to 4. It was at 5 when I began, I mean, actually in the last clip, like seriously, before October 1st it was at 5 and now it's at 4. I don't know what that means. So I guess in theory that could mean if we lost 1 point every 2 months, which is what I think it is, that we were over the threshold 20 months ago, and I think that might actually okay, so let me pause here. So okay, yeah, it's our job to get the next tech, which will probably sort by category. We need to see the categories that we have available. Social science is definitely one, which is why I think it was showing me their arrival mass communication. I was considering that. So we could also, I mean, there's a few interesting ones here that do take biology. This one is going to take so little time. We'll be finishing it in 2 weeks. I think it's even fine for us to do a biology one on top of that. And there are a few, I mean, space agriculture, space medicine, especially space agriculture is going to lead. I think they actually both lead to this, the thing we need next, which is extended space survival. Yeah, I think that they both lead there. Yeah, so I need both of those anyway to get the next step. Predictive, this genetics, this leads to that. No, I may want to increase the lifespan of people. But anyway, though, I mean, one of these, the arrival mass communications, one of these other ones might be it. But first of all, let me just take a look at this new science, this new alien feature. I think it's a really good thing to have, to make it a little bit more clear, because I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm guessing that people were probably getting run over by the aliens, and they didn't really know that that's the important one. Okay, so let's see. What should tell us the last... Okay, just resting my cursor is all I needed to do. We last fixed our estimate on the 21st of August, 2028. I notice it's over a year, so it's like 13 months. Yeah, okay, I don't know. I don't really know what how this is being updated or judged or whatever, because I certainly was at 5. Maybe... Is it when you're over 5 that they start attacking? I don't understand this. Okay, I hate to say that I don't understand what this means exactly, because I've been playing the game long enough that I should. Probably an indicator that there's still a future, a little bit more work has to be done to tell the player what's going on here. I mean, this also can be inaccurate. It's just our estimate, which is intentionally kind of not the correct one. We have a bit of uncertainty built into it here. But okay, anyway, technology. Let me just take a look and come back. Alright, we're going to pick up space commerce, I've decided. And note that one of the latest patches has now added these percentages, which shows you the chance you actually unlock this. And I guess if you don't unlock it, you're just going to have to steal it from someone else. Okay, I am going to do a generous trade with the Resistance. Just because I want to boost them. Basically, I think that they're the closest to us, maybe along with Exodus. That, we have the chance to get along. We can get a non-aggression pact just by dumping some resources on them. I try to take a look and see like what in particular they need. They have very low income for a lot of things, but they have absolutely no noble metals. So I just give them some kind of reserve for that. Hopefully that'll help them along. A lot of fissiles. Some basics, because they don't have much of an income there. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Okay, well, we have this new orbital core thing. We've got that, and that's very good. I'm just a little disappointed. Okay, so we might as well finish off this mountain warfare doctrine. Just a little disappointed because in the same period, like this is like 3 days later, and we just got that non-aggression pact, and the Resistance has already canceled it. I don't really understand this, but I think it's okay. I do understand it. It's because in the same thing I was trying to steal tech that we needed from them, so I need to like contact them again and do the same thing next turn. Hopefully, the net like hatred was negative, as in positive relations gain. I think that should be the case. So we need to go back to the Resistance and try to smooth things over. Well, we ran into Project Exodus as well. I have 2 missions to steal tech from them. I don't even know if I can steal 2 pieces of tech, but we're going to try anyway. And in exchange, I'm trying to do another generous trade. Just throwing money at the problem, which actually mostly now comes in the form of water and volatiles. But since Exodus is actually negative in money, I decided to get him out of the hole. Alright, well we have settlement core now, and I've actually had to make some changes to the tech plane here because Project Exodus is really giving me a run for the money with the the superconductor, the high temperature superconductor one, which is a very, very big project. Anyways, I did get rapid response teams from Project Exodus. I think it might be worth doing, but, you know, again, we're already using xenology, so that gives us energy. We have military. We have... Psyops is one that I've been talking about getting, and might not be a bad time. Notice that there's now a change where you can not see it anymore. If it's like some of these are definitely going to be obsolete, like solid core fission reactor 1. No reason why I would ever get that now. Okay, is there any space science? Now I think we're just going to do, like, even magazine would be helpful. Yeah, I think I'll just do Psyops though. We'll just get it while we have a chance. Let me just make sure there's nothing at the top I would want. I know I started guerrilla warfare, but I think Psyops would actually be more interesting than this. So we'll do that, and then you can see I'm now trying to push on this, and we're still losing that battle. I'm going to have to go to 3x on that, which is a real pain in the butt. But I think with 3x we might be able to catch them. We are actually not catching them. We're staying exactly even with 2. So if I go to 3, there might be enough time for us to actually catch up. We'll see. Hydra diplomacy has been completed. What was before a crude and faltering exchange of words between ourselves and the Hydra has now become an official line of two-way communication. Establishing this proved far from easy, in part due to the lack of a natural olfactory element in our own language, heightening the risk of misunderstanding or, worse, an aggressive response. Surprisingly, the greater obstacle in fact proved to be an apparent indifference on the aliens' part, no matter the content of our messages, as though they considered us beneath notice, despite their clear interest in Earth. Persistence has, however, proved to be a virtue, and careful finessing of our overtures towards the Hydra has finally prompted a response. So we completed this, and that establishes communications channel with the aliens. But the more concerning thing is that I have not done anything aggressive to the aliens. I've also not done anything aggressive to the servants. And yet this update of our intelligence estimate about how the aliens regard our faction has now been upgraded to a 5-star affair. So I'm not very happy about that. Alright, we completed conduct diplomacy. The reception to our request has not been encouraging. Our first messages to the Hydras were simply ignored. On questioning our servant contacts, we discovered that this was not unusual. The Hydras have little interest in communicating with the bulk of their subjects, and prefer to disseminate messages through a small elite of trusted servants. Such servants are, naturally, under the Hydra's full control. Not being members of the Hydra elite, our only recourse has been to ask our contacts and the servants to vouch for us. This has been a slow process and has strained our already tenuous relationship with their faction to the breaking point. But we have success after a sort. A message has been sent to us stating that the Hydras will issue an official statement to our faction. However, the fact that it is described as a statement and not a dialogue is not encouraging. Okay, so now we also got this new thing. You can, a new something about exotics. I can see them back there. So we also see that research exotic materials is also there. We have salvage alien technology, research alien technology, new exotics. Then we can also complete our interrogation. Still trying to learn their demands. For some time now, it has been clear that the greatest scientific gap between us and the aliens is in the realm of materials science. Now that we have an alien technology to study, we can perhaps narrow that gap. Alright, so we can research exotic materials. I'm not sure why that didn't follow from alien technology stuff, but that's fine. We'll get to it. Okay, so learn their demands. That's soon to transpire, I guess. a little bit weird that although it's phrased as the Hydras are preparing their response, it is us who has to research their response. Just all in the name of the game progression, of course. So it makes sense. But if I may say again, though, this is the most discouraging thing that as of. By the way, we're in early December now, almost the end of the year, and that is discouraging that it's now gone up to 5. So I'm not sure I really am so confused because I have actually, since I've seen this at 5-star, I've stopped doing any kind of antagonizing moves towards the servants, and we don't have a protectorate in this game, again, I think everyone knows that by now. So there's not really much I can do. If I'm not doing anything to the servants, I'm not doing anything to the aliens. And what else is there for me to be doing that would continue to cause them anger? Well, I mean, it could be growing my mission control, but for normal difficulty, which is what we're on, it's only 0.4 of your mission control goes towards hate, and 50 is the hate threshold. So we can do up to 125 of this without provoking the aliens. Now, this is still, I guess, setting the floor upon which any of your actions will build from. So this has gone up a little bit, and perhaps my negative actions, like killing the alien, also detaining the other one, which also counts as a kill. Maybe those things have just added up to be, this has grown faster than the hate from those events has decayed. It could be like that. I don't know. Right, of course I forgot to select a new technology. I don't actually think we're going to do Hydra interrogation quite yet. Although, it certainly would be an interesting one. I'd like to do this instead to prevent terrorized missions against our control points. Mainly, I guess it only takes 2,500. We have some small hope of actually getting that done by the time these new ones are going to pop up. Probably not really. Especially because right now, again, we're going full bore to try to take back high temperature superconductors, and oh my gosh, we are not even remotely closing the gap. I might just have to let that go. So we were 1,000 down, and now we're 900 down. Maybe there is time to close it. That's going to be a very, very close fight. I should just go in and, write a quick Python script to calculate whether or not I'm going to catch them in time. It actually gave us that we will be short. So right now we're apparently, let's see what the math is, 881 points different. And I will supposedly close at a rate of basically 0.0337. I will close at a rate of 0.0337 points per 1 point of total research, and we have basically 25,000 points of total research left. Doing the exact calculation, I will have closed 867 points, and again we're down by 881, so we'll be about 10 points shy of closing this amount by the time we get to 35,000. Now I did use, because I don't remember the exact amounts, I did use the original delta, which I don't know if I was even showing on camera. I used was 1,020, and I think it was actually closer to 1,030. So I'm not exactly sure. It's going to be a tight fight, so we'll keep an eye on this one. Thought I'd give a quick update on some of the other things going on. Well, I want to build more material science labs to boost our chances of closing with the Project Exodus on that project. So even like the 3% once or even twice should make a difference. Now, I was trying to take a look at Earth for starters, but apparently all lower Earth orbit slots are now full. In fact, I'm the only person using Tier 1. Everyone else is using outpost cores, or whatever they're called. Not platform cores, but the next level up. The thing, orbital cores, which we could also get. But the problem is that these take 3 mission control instead of 1. That's a pretty big difference. It's exactly 3 times as much per. Is that worth it? Well, you get 4 slots here, and I think you get 12 slots for the other one, so it seems to be just an exact, 1-to-1 upgrade for mission control versus slots you get. I don't know, or is it 10? Is it 10? Do you get 10? Let's go over and check. But anyways, before I leave this, let's just say that in early January, January 4th, I will have 2 more energy labs operating with a solar collector. That'll be my first platform over Mercury. The construction module itself won't be done until the 13th of March, so a little bit later. I was considering while I'm here just maybe using our boost to get 1 more object actually on the planet. And of those, I was thinking of just locking people out of using fissiles. Then I can, happily sell fissiles, or really I can just donate fissiles to other people, and they'll be ecstatic about it. This one also has a not terrible amount of noble metals. Although if I want the noble metals, yeah, I really haven't left any of the noble metal ones. I mean, this is obviously the least useful one out of all the ones here. Let's go ahead and just take Alva Crater. I think I would like to. So let me found a outpost there. This will take 71.6. I have managed to get my way up to 124 basically. We'll go ahead and found that. That's going to take one of our last remaining 2 mission control points. I again should be cautious about doing this with the aliens, but there it is, it's done. Then I'm going to go ahead and jump over to Earth so we can see the situation here. Lots of stations, and this is going to be pretty comical when I show you that as far as orbits go, I'm on Mercury still. That's not what I want. Yeah, there we go. So click on Earth, there we go. There's the stations. Everyone is using, I guess this is their way of saying this is a tier 2 with 3 mission control. So I have 5 in Leo 2 and 4 in Leo 1. I don't have any of the special stuff in Tiong Station or the ISS. I could probably get control of those again. Remember, I sold I forget who took it, but one of these 2 was mine at some point. We may want to go back and actually, retake one of those over, even though the ISS orbit, I think I did leave those dangerous, I think I left those dangerous objects there. Maybe we can take over this one. But from a mission control standpoint, if we go over to any of these stations, so they are using these orbital cores, and it looks like, yeah, so they get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you do get a total of 12. It's just not any increase. There's not a real benefit to doing 1 tier 1 versus 3 tier 1s versus 1 tier 2. Anyway, I'm just not sure what I want to do here. Okay, I got Humanity First on the line. A little phone call with them, and I'm going to give them some boost, some water, volatiles, fissiles. 2 of my organizations, which I don't think are as optimal. The money ones, I have to say, I'm not prioritizing as highly. So even though this one is plus 84 and 3% economy, and this one is 36, 2% economy, obviously the Pelion per star has much worse ratings because of the money. So I'm just going to get rid of these 2, and in some ways you would like the higher number of stars. The star efficiency per star is important, but then ultimately you can't have 25 1-star organizations. You're limited to 15, which means you need to average 1.5 stars per org. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to do this, basically. I don't know what else I was trying to say here. I really want this one because it's material science. They added another one, which in theory is, I think, better. Let's see if I can get to it. So right around Republic, if I find Republic, Ariga. It must have been Ariga, yeah. This one has information science, which I would actually prefer, has better research money. I mean, it's just better. Better in every way, typically. But in this particular sense, well, I mean, the plus 2% knowledge is actually fantastic. So I'll definitely take this. Anyway, I got him to a generous trade, so we'll complete this. Well, might as well see what this is. We have got unlocked learn their demands. Let's see how demanding a project that would be. Oh, it's only 5,000. That's very doable. It will basically it'll update the information about our faction. So I'm going to wait on it a little bit. Let's wait until maybe mid-2030. So we'll continue on with rapid response teams for now. And it looks like, by the way, that I am closing the gap faster than I expected here. We're not even to, 15,000, not even halfway done. And I have already cut the gap to what it looks like about 500. That's much faster than I think that my my estimates were. They were way too overly conservative. Alternatively, I haven't been monitoring this closely. It's quite possible that Exodus was really putting full research into it, and then they had to back off a little bit. I personally also plan to back off as soon as we get basically at parity with them. Interesting to see the Initiative be the second people with a fleet. And yet, there it is. Oh, look at this, only a few days later, and Resistance fleet also detected. I wonder if we're going to see some space battles. Alright, well this is a big moment. Humans have arrived on Mercury. Standing safely inside the shadow line of a great polar crater, our colonists are building humanity's first home on this scorched world. I cannot even imagine, by the way, how awful it would be to be on Mercury, but that's kind of like maybe a long-term perspective. I guess you'd be overwhelmed by excitement, at first, but I just can't. It just doesn't seem like a very fun place to live. I guess that Mars, to a degree, is maybe the same way, or certainly the Moon. At least the Moon, you'd be able to see Earth. Anyway, this is that's good. I also wanted to show something about. So I'm gonna probably make use of these. I might pause and cut away and look at them, but basically, I think that there's something interesting to be done with these bases now that building. Oh gosh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. No. See, yeah, here. So I know that this takes -1. The next one, of course, takes -3, as we already went through that song and dance. But if I just put solar collectors here, they're going to get 67. We don't even need the solar arrays, which... Did I not get the solar arrays yet? I guess not. Oh, no, of course, solar arrays are only available if we do the settlement core, right. So I could do the solar collectors by themselves. They already give so much power. And beyond that, then I can do energy labs. I can just get a little bit of science from 2 of the places, leaving the outpost mining complex alone for now, because it costs that 1 extra MC, and I really don't have that 1 extra MC to spend. But since I already spent the MC to get these outposts, I might as well fill them with science. So that's the plan. Especially because we're going to have a construction module in space pretty soon. But I think I can even build them. I'm pretty sure I can actually build this stuff in space. It only takes 30 days. I'm not exactly sure how that works, considering it looks like it would take a long time to ship from Earth, but the nearest construction post that I have, as far as I know, is Mars, because the one in Mercury is not built yet. But nonetheless, I can just go ahead and do this if, I might as well just do it, because it doesn't take any mission control. We're just being mission control efficient. So we'll do that, and I'll go through the rest of them. I'm not sure exactly what labs we'll want to add. We'll probably want to add a little bit of... I'd like material labs to be mostly around Earth because of that 3% bonus to the military, up to having like 10 of them. And probably when I expand my mission control and actually do any of the orbital core upgrades, I probably am going to do those in order to get more material labs. Probably at some point we'll get 1 shipyard and 1 construction place up there just for fun. But nonetheless, I do want more military science. But military's actually been coming along pretty well on Earth. I can go over to the US and kind of showcase that we've been doing pretty well. Not only GDP-wise and all that. Of course, this is with our counselor's bonus, advising bonus for the moment, because we're not over 1K by ourselves yet. But with the advising, we are. And yeah, military-wise, 4.9. We're up to almost 4.9. So yeah, we'll just continue to push on the military, try to get over 5. I think getting over 5 will be like a respectable place for us to be until we start fighting some battles. Last thing, research. Oh yeah, so this is going to finish up pretty soon, but actually we've already overtaken Project Exodus. So well, it's really actually surprising how quickly that works. So to all the other categories bonus, I'm going to take this down by 1. So this is June 6th, February 21st. Now it's May and February. February 17th didn't go down by that much, but And these were probably even more impacted by that. July. Well, maybe not, because they're it's only my contribution which changed. But we're going to finish this one on July 1st, October 15th. Yeah, I mean, the good news about this dueling banjos type thing between Project Exodus and Ion high temperature superconductors is that it will finish the project really, really quickly. I mean, considering this is 35,000 and it's going to finish before either of the other ones, it just shows you, okay, well, before one of the other two, it shows you how much science is being thrown into this. And I think that we have reached that point. I think I do need to start focusing more on the global, at least not to the tune of doing 3x more than the global with my local. At this point, I might move up to 2. These will be at 2 and this is at 1. Or if I want to be even a little bit more strict, but not this strict, but a little more strict, I'll move these up to 3 and I'll move these up to 2, so it'll be a 50% bonus. But no longer, I think the days of 3 and 1 are over. We have we were able to pull together a fair amount of technologies that we like. When we want to do military ships themselves, then we'll probably do another spurt of local building, faction building stuff. And certainly for anything which is really, really good, like civilian quantum computing, we'll prioritize that probably as soon as we can. We are not there yet. Well, a couple of funny things. So yes, all of our science labs have now finished on Mercury, which was a lot of them. Oddly enough, our science has in general, I think, gone down because, like space science, I think it used to be at 50%, but I think it's gone down now because a patch has changed all the values of the labs from 3% down to 2.5%. So we'll have to live with a slightly different science outcome. Now, it affects everyone, but that still affects me, so, and probably me disproportionately since I was building a whole lot of those. Alright, the construction module is completed, so now let's just go over here and test, see whether or not we can grab the remainder of the sites, which, how? There's only 2 of them. Look at that. You can do a core module. It only takes 580. Or just build it on it. But we don't actually want to do this because that would actually be quite a lot of... yeah, found orbital takes 3 mission control. But we can just found an outpost which only takes 1 mission control. That's much preferable. And you can see it's just not going to cost much at all since we can obviously much preferably do it from our construction. So this is great. I'm going to do this. It's going to take our last... we might as well lock up. This is going to be... I think that these are going to be useful almost as much as like just location. Forget about the mining. Just locations that a solar plant can completely... yeah, just does wonderful things for. I mean, if nothing else, we have to take this out because it actually has some noble metals and a higher amount of metals, more volatile. So let's just take this one, which takes us up to 42 out of 45. I have been kind of pushing mission control pretty fiercely back on Earth. The only question is whether or not I want this one. I mean, from the perspective that there are a limited number of spots in for Mercury, right? Orbit-wise, wow, that is still 32 spots. And the interface orbits don't really mean much here, right? They only really mean a lot on Earth. So this is really just a ton of territory we can work with. Now, I mean, to preserve Mercury for only us, I think that's much more likely to happen if we do have all the locations. Although you'd have to say that this is not like a substantial... well, I think we should probably grab this, and I need to go and find my other outposts, which might as well just kind of dilly-daddle for a second. I think I have some outposts. Can I just look at mine? I guess I have to do it this way. Okay, so somewhere out in the inner system belts, I probably have something. This one actually looks alright. That's producing a good amount. Water, volatiles, metal, nobles, and... that's a great one. Lick is great. Let's go to... inner asteroid belt is probably what I meant. Middle asteroid belt? Okay. So these are all producing water because probably 2 of them are on Ceres. I think this one's on Ceres. Is not. Yeah, Ceres, and Hestia. So this Hestia one actually has a lot of volatiles. Yeah, then that's all fine. I mean, 2 of them are actually losing volatiles, but, only to the tune of 0.05 a day. That's not that bad. I have to say, I think that we've actually done a fairly good job making sure that our locations are pretty good. Okay, here's the possible exception. It does give us a lot of noble metals. A lot. Probably half our noble metal income is probably from this one, 27.5. Gives us a little bit of fissiles. Definitely gives us a very healthy amount of normal metals. Yeah, I mean, I think we've done a pretty good job picking places. There's probably better places we could have picked, but we have very good income. I guess I shouldn't complain. Well, I'll leave it alone for now. I might revisit this at a later point. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it, though. It only takes 1 more mission control point, and again, this is just I think it's better. I kind of wish that planet places were more valuable, I guess. I mean, yeah, they are from the perspective that... Wait, no, they also take heavy shielding. I'm going to do it, though. Okay, there. So we have 43 out of 45. All that mission control, unfortunately, also adds to alien hate, but only to the tune of 1 hate for 1.4 hate per 1 point of mission control. So adding those two didn't raise it by 1, which means hopefully it hasn't... I don't understand this. I mean, eventually we'll get the nuke tech, their demands, and then we'll find out where we actually lie with them again. But it'll all be bottled up in this, this very not precise, very imprecise method of 5 dots. And like 5 dots with the red, I would assume means that they're after us, but yet they haven't destroyed anything yet. So there you have it. All right, I think the last of our Mercury-based stuff has now been completed. I think so. I think it's all been completed, and of course we are probably at this point overdue to start building some stuff on the new craters. Yeah, look at that. That one's not done. This one is. Oh, it's probably easier to just do it this way, one at a time. That one's done. Okay, good. So I might as well populate the last 2 with some kind of science. I don't know what I'll do with them. Xenology is up to 100 now that we have some xenology labs out. I feel like we're gonna have to go with either life science, space science, material science. We don't need anymore because now we're winning that race, and it's now the one with the highest percentage. It's a nice category to have, by the way, but I think I'm gonna go with information science. At least a little bit of information science. So I'll go probably do 1 information science and who knows, 1 life science probably. That'll get life science up a little bit higher, which would be good. Made it all the way to the end of March. Almost, I mean, I guess this is actually a full year from the last video. Finally, we're making it 1 year a video. Anyway, money's still going up. What's the general state of affairs? Okay, I'll deal with this immediately off camera, as you can imagine. What's going on with Earth? March 2030. Mexico's slowly getting more democratic. We constantly have to fight its unrest. Guess I'll show priorities here too. I've been micromanaging the priorities this way and that way and this way and that way. Bolivia's starting to come under our control. I've seen people talk about how the Caliphate is like the best one to choose for unifying everything. Somebody was mentioning that. So that might be what I need to do, is form the Caliphate over here. But I have already got a foothold in the area with the Gulf states and Yemen. I think what you have to do is take Saudi Arabia, dismember it, break it up, and then that's how you form the Caliphate. But I'd have to look into it or ask somebody who knows. Anyway, I guess I don't really have much more to say. Been pretty static. Like, Europe is just this public opinion battle that rages forever on. I haven't been super interested. Okay, this might be the time to do it, but prior to any time I've seen what the servants' priorities were, before this is the first time I've seen that it wasn't 1 dot in knowledge and 3 dots in funding, boost, and mission control. Now that they're going this way with it, military and Army, Navy, I mean, my whole thing is when they're doing things which are good for me, which funding and boost definitely are part of that, and even military is fine. Just the build Army, build Navy is not, I think that those are waste. When they're doing things which are not wasteful, I don't mind. They're effectively controlling the control point the way I want it to be controlled anyway. The only negative side of things is just the fact that they, as servants, are getting funding and research and boost on. I mean, they're basically getting the benefit of the European Union, which is also, Benelux, Germany, and Ireland, which I own, are also therefore contributing to the servants, which I don't like. So I've kind of tried to move these guys all towards mission control, which I can only do so much because, I might as well just do this as well. I can't do that so much simply because Ireland doesn't have mission control. They don't have a spaceflight program. I'm not going to bother doing it because once they get integrated with the EU, they will have it. So I figure it's better for them just to focus on funding. That funding is basically going to the servants, to a small degree at least. That's bad. I mean, I guess also, Project Exodus is still as Poland in here, and looks like the initiative is also in there. But most of the other countries have pulled out. So, maybe all of them are out? Okay, Slovakia is still in there with getting... Just doesn't make very much money, though. So, anyway. So that's basically the state of affairs. I guess this video goes any longer, we're going to make it an hour. Don't want to do that. So, if you have any questions or any things that I'm not showing, then feel free to mention it in the comments and I'll try to cover it in a future video. But until the next one, thanks for watching, stay safe, and take care.